Hello everyone, my name is Jezza. This is an advanced scanning tutorial for those already familiar with the basics of scanning. This video will cover ships, implants, probe formations, an example of me scanning a system, and some helpful tips. All ships used for scanning must be covert ops cloak capable, including the Astero, covert ops frigates, and T3s. First off, the Astero is easy to train into. This fit only requires one skill injector. You should continue to use an Astero until you have the Covert Ops skill level, level 4, or need an expanded probe launcher. All Covert Ops frigates can be used for scanning. Compared to the Astero, they can fit an expanded probe launcher, allowing for combat probes, which I'll explain later, and can fit the nullification module. The nullification module is a new module introduced in the Great Escape update. It allows you either to better escape a dangerous circumstance, or jump into one with minimal risk. A T3 fitted for scanning can equal that of a Covert Ops frigate, with its main advantage being the nullification subsystem reducing the cooldown of the nullification module. However, thanks to the Great Escape update, it has considerably lesser value than previously. Another good use of a scanning T3 is to fit it for combat, either as heavy tackle or solo combat. Unless you have no other option, your scanning character should be on a separate account to your main, and implants serves one of those reasons, as you shouldn't have to worry about losing said implants. There are two types of implants used, hardwirings and virtues. Hardwirings occupy slots 6, 7 and 8, affecting your scan deviation, cycle time and strength respectively. The 2% implants should be ignored, as the 6% should easily be affordable at roughly 20 million ISK per implant. The 10% are recommended where it is affordable, or when running with virtues for the 7th and 8th slot. Here, you can see the difference between no implants and 6% implants. Virtues occupy slots 1 through 6. They are very expensive, but should be a one-time payment, since your scanner should be nullified and remain elusive during a fight. The total effect of a virtue set is roughly a 40% increase to your probe strength. Here is an example of a Helios with and without a set of virtues. Remember, implants, along with skills, can significantly reduce the time it takes to scan a signature, meaning you either spend less time scanning or scan more systems in the same amount of time. You're also better placed to track a hostile target through multiple systems. The two existing probe formations provided by CCP, Spread and Pinpoint, are the most widely used in the game. However, there are ways to improve upon them. You can adjust the spacing between each probe by holding down Control and moving the sliders. If you have good skills and/or implants, this means you can increase the space between each probe, allowing you to cover a greater area of space. If you have poor skills, then you may need to adjust the probes to be closer to each other. To improve your scanning speed, you need to do the following two things. 1. Improve the speed that you scan a signature to 100%, done by fits, skills and implants. And 2. Improve the number of signatures you scan to their known value of 25% in a single scan pass, which is helped by your formation. Outside of those two formations, there are two useful custom probe formations, hereby called Bubble and Cube, demonstrated in the below images. Bubble is a diamond-like pattern of 6 probes, with a centre smaller and centre larger probe. Cube has all 8 probes at the corner of the cube overlapping each other. Each individual will find what is best suited to them, so I recommend playing with the different formations to find out what is best suited to your particular skills and implants. The following footage is from my perspective of jumping into a system for the first time, with an anathema using virtue implants and 10% hardwirings. You'll notice my setup. Both the probe launcher and descan window are separate from the system map, with the map attached to the right of the screen. You can then adjust where your ship is centered on screen by going to Settings, Display Graphics, then adjusting the center camera slider bar. Here, my slider is set to the ship, is centered to the left of the screen. First, I'm checking the system on descan for any wrecks or potential targets. Therefore, my descan filter is set so I can see NPC and player wrecks, structures, including process, tracked units, player ships, drones, scanning probes, and warp destruct probes. If you want a guide on descanning, there are multiple good ones on YouTube. Secondly, I'm checking structures, looking to see who lives here and are they active. Only once I've checked the system for activity am I dropping probes, specifically combat probes. I'll explain this reasoning in the helpful tips section. Here, my focus is on scanning all signatures in the system to their known value, 25%, and scanning wormholes to 100% as fast as possible. With my skills and implants, I can scan a Celestial with 8 AU probes to get a clump of signatures and then reduce to 2 AU to scan each individual signature. I hope watching this footage will be helpful. Here are some very useful tips. Number 1. Across all ship fits, faction probe launchers are used as they are better than T2. 2. Because of stacking penalties, a single Tech 2 scanning rig gives better bonuses than 2 Tech 1 rigs. 3. Both combat probes and core probes have the same stats when at the same range. When both probes are at the 4 AU sizing, they will both behave the exact same. The difference is core probes have a base scan size of 0.25 AU versus the 0.5 AU of a combat probe. However, you should only need to scan a signature using probes at 0.25 sizing if you have particularly poor skills. If you have halfway decent scanning skills and a covert ops ship, then I recommend always running either RSS probes or combats, and not cores. Number 4. When combat scanning a ship, how easy it is dependent on the ship's signature size. Ships with smaller signatures are harder to scan. If you want to combat scan a frigate like a Venture, use D-scan first to gauge where the ship roughly is, so you spend less time with your scanner probes on D-scan.